Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is JQ here, and today I'm going to be doing a thief build breakdown video for my thief build. Now, normally this would be a very easy thing for me to do, and I'd be able to do it very quickly, but as you can probably tell, I'm having to drop my voice into this lower range just because I have been horribly sick since last Monday, and if I try to talk in my normal voice or talk at any great speed, my throat tries to tear itself to pieces. So we're gonna try to take this nice and slow, and I'm gonna try to not hack up my lungs into the microphone. I'm still not feeling well. I'm feeling a little bit better now, but I still wanted to give you guys this video. I really wanted to release one this weekend. And hopefully this goes off without a hitch. So, what we're going to talk about today is, like I mentioned, my thief build. Let me just open this up for you here and look at the traits. Now, this is a strange setup, or so I've been told over and over and over again. I'll probably get a lot of messages about, oh, you took this build from XYZ. No, I didn't. I don't care who has a similar build. I don't care if somebody has this exact same build. I did not take this build from anywhere. I have been using it since release when I got the game. The only thing that has changed is when I was doing PvE only, which was a very brief thing. I was full into power and precision, and I even had that going on when I was in WvW for a little bit. And I eventually decided I don't like the power traits, and I removed all of my power traits entirely in favor of going into shadow arts and acrobatics for improved defenses, and because their traits are so much more useful, at least in my opinion. Master of Deception, for instance, deception skills 20% recharge, or faster recharge, which means my shadow step and my shadow refuge both come off cooldown faster, which is very important given what I do. Now, the acrobatics tree gives me the Descent of Shadows for the reduced fall damage, and I use this all the time. Some people think fall damage traits are a waste of a trait. I jump down on people's heads all the time. And not only do I jump down on people's heads, I will jump off of a cliff if I am being pursued by too many people for me to handle. And if they follow me and they don't have the fall damage trait, they will either die or they will go to a state of health because they take so much damage that I can literally kill all of them before they get up off the ground, which is a huge deal. I have done that. My highest number of kills at once for doing that was 6. They all jump down on top of each other right into pistol whips, and that's a cleave and an evade, and it eats people. I mean, and they couldn't dodge out of the way because they had to get up first from after the falling animation, so that's something to keep in mind. Don't chase people off of cliffs. They're going to wait for you at the bottom like a shark. Fleet of Foot is one of my favorite traits. It removes cripple and weakness when you dodge. There is a 10-second cooldown on that, but I took this trait because I noticed, at least before, it's still a large killer, and it's still a pretty dangerous thing. But the thing that was killing me the most when I first started playing Thief in World v World, or PvP, was Cripple. Because as a Thief, you have a low HP pool. You can do a lot of damage, and you can maneuver around a lot. You get evades and whatever, but you have a low HP pool. And if you are slowed down, that's pretty much a death sentence. Chill and Cripple are nasty for thieves because you need it. You need your mobility. You need it, or else you'll die. You don't have the HP to sit there and run around in circles and tank people in most cases. Although, I'll let you guys in a little secret. I am working on a new thief build. A thief build that is going to be the trolliest thief build that ever existed. And I am going to do another build, a breakdown of that build when it is done. But I am making full ascended armor for it, so it's been taking me some time. And you guys are going to see it, and you are going to either cringe and turn the video off, or you are going to laugh your asses off, and I'm going to get some very fun comments, so we will see how that happens. Sorry about that. I needed a drink. Like I mentioned, my throat's kind of killing me. Okay. So, critical strikes tree. I mean, we all know what the minors are, I'm sure. But I'll go over them anyway. Acrobatics, you've got Expeditious Dodger, so you gain swiftness when you dodge. That's really handy. And Feline Grace. That helps for mobility, too. Even if you're not in combat, that just helps for mobility. You can use your dodges to gain swiftness. Feline Grace. Dodging returns some of the endurance used, which basically means you can dodge 3 times almost in a row. Combine that with the fact that I run a sigil of stamina in each of my weapon sets. That means that every time anything that I have touched dies, I gain full endurance to dodge. So if I am in a Zerg fight and we are winning, or I am fighting a small group of people and I am killing them or killing NPCs around them like a camp or something, I can pretty much dodge forever, which is a big deal. Here we've got Blinding Powder, or Last Refuge, so you use Blinding Powder when your health reaches a certain threshold, 25%, you know. That one's not one of my favorite minors, but it does help. I mean, it's not unuseful, it's just, it's more of a, I have to take it to get up to here, so. And Meld with Shadows, stealth skills last longer. This is handy. It helps if you want to run Dagger or Dagger Pistol on this build, and you want to use Hide in Shadows as your heal, so you can do backstabs and such, because it gives you increased stealth duration. It also helps because I use the Hidden Thief trait, and that stealing grants you stealth, so I get 3 seconds of stealth when I steal from somebody. It's a gap closer. It stealths me, so I can open up with a out-of-stealth auto attack from whatever weapon set that I'm using. It's great for backstabs, because you can gap close backstab immediately if you're running a dagger, or Dagger Pistol. It's also good for escaping. I can't tell you how many times I have escaped from a large group of people trying to kill me by stealing into the group at somebody and stealthing and then just running straight through them because they just don't even know what happened. It's a very good little thing to have. Also, it means you, because of this, you get more time on your Shadow Refuge, which is nice. And Shadow Refuge, obviously, it's a long stealth if you remain in the circle for the whole time. So, even after the circle goes down, it's 11 more seconds with the buffed stealth skills last longer thing. So that's a lot of time to maneuver around enemies, get to better scouting positions, avoid being seen by NPCs, you know, whatever. Or rezzing allies, which is going to be a big part of the new build I'm talking about right now. Oh man, I'm teasing it big time. I can't wait to show you guys that build. It is going to be so much fun. I am going to make some just stupid videos with that build. Okay. That's my wallet. I don't even know what I'm in there for. Blah. Alright, so, you know, let's look at my equipment. We've got full Zerker, Ascended, obviously, because Zerker nothing. Even got an exotic Zerk Aqua Breather, because, man, we're going all out for this. We don't play around. I don't have Ascended underwater weapons yet, but I've been meaning to make them. I've just not made them yet because of the new armor set that I'm making for the new build. Anyway, full Ascended Zerk trinkets, all with World v World infusions, except for this one, which has a Magic Find infusion, because I like Magic Find. I like to find the goodies. I like the goodies. And all of my armor has World v World infusions, as well as my weapons. I use Superior Runes of the Eagle, because extra precision. I like to do the crits. The crits are good. It ends up giving me crit chance and crit damage, and I also get plus 6% damage against targets with less than 50% HP, which is a big deal because of this Executioner. I take this trait unless I am soloing keeps or towers, and I switch over to Invigorating Precision, because that, with Signet of Malice, means that I can beat the living piss out of a lord or supervisor or whatever, well, no, keep lord or tower lord, without really needing to worry about it. I can tank them pretty easily. The ones that I can't stand next to in most cases are keep lords, because they will eventually out-damage me with their attacks, their bleeds and whatever, and if they get me with a stun. So what I do for them is I will go in on them, I'll do damage as long as I can, and then I will be running, instead of short bow offhand set, I'll run pistol pistol, and then I'll switch over to pistol pistol to get distance, and I'll just back up off of them and unload until my health is back up to full, then switch back to melee and go back in. So that's how I do that, in case you guys are inclined. I'm going to try to get a video of that at some point, but it's been a while since I have soloed one, and I never actually recorded myself soloing a keep. Next, we've got First Strikes. Damage is increased while your current initiative is over the threshold. So if I come into somebody and I hit them with out-of-stealth attacks and shit, I do more damage. That's good for, like I said, backstabs with dagger and whatever. Practice tolerance, gain vitality based on your precision. I take that simply because I like the little extra padding that I get for health that way. Opportunist, critical hits have a bonus chance to restore initiative. That's really good because this build burns initiative on attacks like crazy, because I use a lot of this and a lot of this, and I use this a lot too. I use this, but this I use mostly for stomping people. When they're down already, I'll use that, and then I'll stomp them to avoid their pulls or pushes or whatever they do when they're on the ground, or in fears and shit. Furious Retaliation. Gain Fury when your target falls below the health threshold. So when my target hits 50% HP, I gain 20% critical chance, which pushes me to 85% right there. I mean, technically it's 83% because I'm buffed right now. 83%. Bam. And I start doing 56? Or no, not 56. What am I talking about? It's 26. 26% extra damage to them because they are at 50% HP. So when somebody I'm fighting hits half HP, I pretty much go, let me finish that for you, and I kill them. It's a very useful set. Some targets obviously take longer if they're running full tank builds or they're running a bunch of boons or something like that. But for the most part, and especially for the squishy targets I usually go for, it ends them pretty nicely. So now that we've gone through this, oh, and we got Keen Observer, so more critical chance when my health is over the threshold, so that's a thing. Ugh. God, I'm just dying. I'm dying, guys. Okay. But yes, we talked about my armor, we talked about my runes, we talked about my weapons. Now, the reason I use these particular weapon sets is because I like the evade on pistol whip, I like the cleave on sword. I've always liked sword's ability to cleave targets, because the more targets I can cleave, the more health I will heal with Signet of Malice. Now, in a 1v1 scenario, is dagger better? It can be. It really depends on how good the person using the dagger is on a thief, because I have pegged I don't know how many dagger pistol thieves out of the air because they didn't know what they were doing, or they decided to spam Heartseeker before my health was low or anything. Don't spam Heartseeker, guys. That's not what it's for. It's not an opener. It's not an attack that you can spam to win. It is not that kind of thing. What it's good for is you got to read the text. You know, I'll show you now. I'll just show you now. Heartseeker. Leap and strike your foe. The less health your target has, the more damage you cause. So ideally, you do not want to use Heartseeker on them until their health is at least below 50%, but ideally below 25%, so you can get max damage. And if they're that low, spamming it at them will kill them, as opposed to if you spam it at them to open and you're only doing 787 damage per hit or whatever, even if you have full power and you're doing that, you're not doing enough damage to kill them, they will laugh at you and they will kill you, because you'll run out of initiative and you'll be dead. So don't do that. Okay. Now that I'm off my soapbox, we're gonna go and hopefully demo some of this stuff for you. Let's demo this. But we're going to talk about still my other sigils. I run. Okay, then they changed that for the festival. I run a lot of air and fire are my two favorites. Fire is good because it triggers a flame blast. It does a lot of damage, and it's an area of effect that can hit multiple targets. The air I left on this sword because it was bolt. And I like the air one, actually, because it does more damage than the fire one, but it's directed at one target. So that can hit somebody, and that can really seriously hurt somebody if it hits them. Especially if they are a lower HP class. So, that being said... Ooh, cool. Look at the festival... Oh, God, look at that festival Dalyak! That's so cool, with the lanterns and the... Okay. That being said, are there other sigils you can use? Yes. Plenty. The ones that I use just because I like them. I used to use Bloodlust, but I don't run Bloodlust anymore. Bloodlust is kind of a good decision for this build, because it means if you full stack to 25, you can pretty much negate the fact that you don't take any traits in your power tree, because you'd be gaining almost as much power as you would going full into power. With a fully stacked Bloodlust sigil, so that can be a good idea, but I don't like to worry about stacking all the time, and that's why I ended up deciding to go for pure damage sigils, because they are always ready to deal their maximum amount of damage, provided they trigger, and I don't have to stack, so that's nice. Like, I can come right out of spawn, and if somebody's sitting there camping the spawn, I can just fucking kill them. I don't gotta worry about stacks or anything. I know my shit's just gonna work. And the reason I say that, to clarify, is because when you have a stacking sigil that has full stacks, it is at its fullest potential, whereas my proc on crit sigils are always at their fullest potential. If you have a stacking sigil on and you don't have stacks on it, or you don't have max stacks, only a couple of stacks, you are essentially wasting a sigil slot until you are at max stacks because of how they work. It's like having it's not having full power until you've gotten the 25 stacks. If it makes sense to you guys. And we're in that. Okay, so now we're going to talk about this. I'm going to switch over to Invigorating Precision. Could I do this without Invigorating Precision? Yes. Why do I use Invigorating Precision? Because it turns it into easy mode. So, I'm going to go up here and use Dagger Storm because that'll reflect the initial shot from the Lord, the initial immobilized from the guard, and the initial shots from the scout, thereby rendering most of their shit useless. And you are going to spam a lot of Pistol Whip in this scenario, and the reason for that is very simple. Your headshot, and your black powder are generally worthless against this guy because the blind is less effective against champions, and the headshot doesn't work on him at all. The Infiltrator's Strike is worthless against him because while the Immobilize does work, you're going to be standing next to him anyway, so you're not going to need him immobilized. He's going to stay right where he is. So all you're going to use is Pistol Whip and your auto attacks. Maybe the occasional steal to get your stealth and to open with like a blinding strike or something, but it's not necessary. Like, the only reason I ever steal from this guy is if I need a second because I've fucked up and I have low HP. So, but there is no reason to not spam Pistol Whip against NPCs because they are stupid. Now, I get a lot of flack about Pistol Whip, people saying it's overpowered or it's cheap or whatever. It's not. It's overpowered against things like this that stand still and never try to get out of the way. If you're a player and you have problems with Pistol Whip, try getting out of the way. It really is not difficult. The initial stun only stuns you for about 2 to 3 of the swings for the sword, so you shouldn't have much of a problem getting away from it. I use that Infiltrator's Return there to wipe those bleeds because it clears 1 condition on return, which is nice. Yeah, but it's not difficult to get out of the way of. If I am fighting any kind of competent player, Pistol Whip becomes very difficult to use. I still use it because I have a lot of practice with it and I know how to get the hits off correctly. But it is not as easy as people make it out to be because it roots you in place, unlike the Mesmer's similar ability where they can move around and keep swinging. We cannot do that. A Transcendent Chest. Okay then. Give me them lucky envelopes. What? Wow, they added some stuff I didn't even know about for this thing. I've not been paying attention. I've been horribly ill. Alright. On to the next thing. So I've just showed you a tower cap. Easy. Easy peasy. You saw how easy that was. That was not even a problem for me. Great Guild Firework. What? Oh, cool! It's my guild symbol. That's fucking awesome. Oh, my chest. Oh god, it hurts so bad. The pain. The things I do for you guys. I hate Robitussin. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.